Hey y'all, what's up? A little installment from out in the garage. It's the 6th of March. Hey to Ace, probably on his way home from Roebling Road, is a big long week and 10-day long trip. Go pick up his puppy and do a little bluegrass festival on the way out before he hit the racetrack heading home. Hey to Susan. Johnny and Joe and traveling up the highway, probably on their way back to Chicago from Roebling Road. I hope everybody had a safe weekend down there. We watched some of it on the race monitor. And congratulations, Guillermo Medina from Mexico. He came from Mexico to our track day last October. Was DEA single 250. Won his first U.S. Super Kart race, so that's pretty cool. Speaking of Super Karts, that's the one we decided to bring back with us from the storage unit today. Me and Rich ran off and went up and picked it up. So as you can see, we have a ton of work to do, folks, just a ton. We're going to continue with Yamadog too. Now that I've got from Ace, my buddy Ace sent me the 14-tooth gear and the needles and stuff we need for this carburetor. We can get the motor, the correct gear on the front, get the correct gear on the rear, get everything bolted down. At that point, we can put an exhaust on it and just put some fuel line on it and get it fired up, see if it runs. I mean, I'm sure it will, but, you know, Brent Hayes, thanks, Brent. He fit a piston ring to it with the correct gap in it and all that stuff. So we'll have this thing ready. We don't intend to have this thing ready for April. We want to have this ready for when we finally get a break and need a break in July. We'll go back to Granton. We'll rent the garage and bring you some footage from there. So we'll bring this one. Probably leave the shifter cart at home maybe too, depending on what happens in April. If it needs more work, maybe we'll bring it back to Granton and just run it on Friday and then play with this thing. Maybe practice and racing this, or who knows, I don't know. But we're not going to worry about getting this thing going in the next 4 or 5 weeks, ready for April. We could without a body on it, but I'm not going to bother. We'll work on this as we're working on this too. Plan of attack here is going to be first just taking everything off, floor tray, everything off. Everything needs work here. As you can see, Todd, the guy that had the cart, he said this whole U-shaped seat bar, whatever that was on here, it didn't work for him. It kept breaking. Either the brackets tabs were breaking off the tube. I think he said that these were breaking off the chassis. As you can see, they look pretty nasty, don't they? I mean, it doesn't even look like the original tabs. It looks like somebody drilled another hole in it down there. They had these welded on and started using something like this for that U-shaped tube. I don't, what the heck is this? I mean, it looks like there were bolts through it, but if this is holding the seat, what is this all about? And is that holding the bottom of the, could the seat actually sit here? Maybe with a spacer? But how are you man, I don't get it. That's why it's all coming off. We're gonna cut all that stuff off that wasn't on here. It's all coming off. And then we'll metal finish everything back. It's coming off. I mean, it looks like a nice piece, but it's actually got some pretty, lack of a better word, half-ass looking work done to it. Everything else looks pretty solid. So up here, this all looks OEM. Shouldn't have any trouble there. But the mounts for the tank look like they were contrived. So yeah, it's all going to come down. And of course, we're going to Americanize this thing. Maybe we keep it, maybe we sell it. I don't know, but we're going to build it our way. And if no one wants to buy it, then we'll run it. Yeah, we're gonna do some things the RPM way, and we're gonna change some things up. Obviously, this is gone. We don't bump shift nothing around here. It'll have a paddle to it. We'll do something interesting up here. We'll probably make our own steering wheel like we did on the CIK shifter that we sold Jamal. How you doing, Jamal? The old GP chassis. And I like the idea of the removable steering wheel, you know, on the quick release and just put your gauge on a dash or something and use the removable steering wheel, makes it easier for you to get in and out, because your legs when you're sitting are going to be, you know, the bottom of the seat is going to be on an angle like this, because we're going to lay it down as much as we can, just like we did on that CIK shifter cart. We're not going to be sitting straight up in the air, because I don't think we're going to put a 250 on here. I don't think we're going to deal with that 250. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. First thing we got to do is strip it all down, Nerfs, bumpers, everything off. Bunch of stuff. We're throwing the pedals away. We're going to rework some stuff up in here, because we used a Paul Martin setup here, and have some exciting stuff going on. I've shared a bit of it with you, right, with the rotors and hubs. We're going to use the 5-star calipers, but doing bushing here up to from 35 to 40, so we can use the CIK rotor and hub on here. And of course, same with our gearing for the 40 millimeter clamp on gears, because we can get those all day long. The 40 millimeter stuff is still relatively, you know, readily available, whereas 35 millimeter stuff is only Anderson. And I'm sure he did it that way on purpose, so you had to buy all his stuff, which is nice if you're into that, but I'm not. I'm not into the monopoly thing where you have to buy everything from one source, especially, you know, coming from where we come from as laydown guys. We build it all ourselves, and we don't like being told we have to buy certain things from certain outlets. So there you go. We'll start tearing this thing down. Yeah, I mean, you can see it's a hair over 60 degrees in the garage here today. But we really didn't do, we haven't really done much of anything up until now, 6th of March. And as you can see with the fat face, the gut, I've gained weight since Daytona, and we were past prime going to Daytona. So it is what it is. Thanks, Rich, for helping me go get this thing today. We'll start tearing all this stuff off. The stuff we can use, we'll throw in a box and pack away for right now. But we got to get this thing knocked down to a workable unit for us to build up from. We'll do something different. We don't like this articulating crap. That doesn't work for us either. So we'll do something like maybe like Dennis Bernier did. Hey, Dennis, what's up? We won't bolt something tubular from here to here. What I would like to do is get rid of these tabs altogether and do like we did on the TSR Enduro chassis, the cart we took to Daytona. What we did is it had tabs like this originally as well. We cut all that stuff off, metal finish back, and then we welded a piece of tubing this same size with bushings cut in each end and plug welded. And so now we have a big round, instead of having tabs on the chassis, the tabs were on our motor mount. So what we can do is actually weld some tubes, maybe bent like these, right? Bent down, run the tube down just off the floor tray up to the other, and that whole piece will come, you know, 2 bolts, and it'll come right out. You can go right back to, you know, whatever you wanted to do. Might have to get creative if you're going to do a 250 or something, but that way you've got bars you can mount the motor to or whatever. I mean, we'll come back and address that as we get to that point, but we're a long way from there. Get it all torn down, get everything metal finished and stuff, then we're going to have to get us a seat here and determine what we want to do. From looking at the other carts, I'm not sure that they have this tube here or it's configured different. But there were stubs coming off, maybe off of here, stubs coming back with the clamps and the pins on it for the front of the seat. Looks to be too close here. Maybe this is just, Todd said it was a Y2K model, a year 2000 cart. So we're gonna have to take a look at some other stuff online, see what we can find out why this thing is shaped the way it is. But we'll RPM this bad boy up and we'll bring it to you. Godspeed, God bless. Hang in there, y'all. We're praying for you. It'll get better.